Alright, so Boresighting Mavericks. This thing is not nearly covered enough, and it drove me crazy why I couldn't lock anything with my Mavericks when I first learned them. But I'm here to help you with just that. Let's start. I'll show you how to do it on the ground. You always want to do it on the ground when possible, because it's much easier and safer than while flying, even though both are viable options. In any case, you need something to lock on. In my own missions, I place some vehicle or aircraft somewhere in the airfield close to me or my taxiway or runway, like this one right here. So I suggest doing the same. Note that you can also use other aircraft around you, like a friend's, to do it. Remember that boresighting is only really needed when you use the TGP along with the Maverick, like in pre-mode. Also, if you start in the air, DCS will already boresight them for you by itself, so this process is purely for ground cold starts. And this is how the process goes. If you haven't done so already, turn on the targeting pod through the right hardpoint, set the master arm switch to simulate, go into air to ground mode. You can switch the flickers page with the WPN or weapon page. Give power to the Mavericks by turning them on right here, power on. And in roughly 3 minutes we will get video feed on the weapon page. And through the magic of editing, 3 minutes have passed, and go into pre-mode by pressing it here. There we go, pre. Now switch to the TGP on the other MFD. Press SP and deselect it, and this will bring the TGP to look in front of us, which means it will look at that truck. Now soy the TGP by pressing display management switch down until not soy disappears and the MFD is boxed. If you want, you can switch to an IR view by pressing target management switch left. Slew the TGP onto the object you're going to use for boresighting and press target management switch up to go into point track. Now, looking again at the weapon page, you can see that 3 at the bottom left is boxed and 7 at the bottom right isn't. Remember that for a bit later. Anyway, now we need to soy this by pressing display management switch down. Not soy disappears and the MFD is boxed. And you can see that the Maverick is actually off to the left of the truck. So what we need to do is slew the Maverick onto the truck. Press target management switch up to lock it up, and you can see the shaking reticle, which indicates a valid lock. If instead they collapse like that, it means you did not get a valid lock. So simply press target management switch down, put it on the object again, and try again, target management switch up, and there we go, we got the shaking reticle, which means we have a valid lock. Now all that's left is pressing BSGT at the top left. And now, all the Mavericks on station number 3, which is on our left wing, are boresighted. When you boresight your Mavericks, it boresights all the Mavericks on that station that you just boresighted. So, now we also need to boresight the ones on station 7, which is our right wing. To do so, press target management switch down to undesignate, and now press the nose wheel steering button, which will switch, as you can see, to the 7, and the 7 is now boxed. Now do the same thing we did for station 3, so slew the Maverick onto the object, press target management switch up, make sure you get the shaking reticles, which again indicate a valid lock, and press BSGT at the top left. Now both the Mavericks on station 3 and station 7 are boresighted. You can press target management switch down to undesignate, go back to the targeting pod, soy it, press target management switch down to bring it back to the steer point you're currently on, and you can also switch it from manual handoff to automatic handoff, which means when you designate a target with the targeting pod, it will automatically pass that to the Maverick and tell it to lock that same target as well. Okay, now I'll show you how to do it when you have 2 different kinds of Mavericks on your jet. On the left, station number 3, we have the Delta, which has the IR sensor, and on the right, station 7, we have the hotel variant, which has the CCD or TV sensor. The process is quite similar, so let's go through it quickly. First, soy the TGP by pressing display management switch down until not soy disappeared and the MFD is boxed. Press SP or snowplow and deselect it. Slew the TGP onto the object and press target management switch up to go into point track. Go to the weapon page, soy it by pressing display management switch down. Slew it onto the object, press target management switch up, and if you get the shaking reticle, press BSGT. And now you have station number 3 with the Delta variant Boresighted. You can undesignate it by pressing target management switch down. And now we will switch to the hotels by going to the SMS page and pressing right here. And you can see 3 times AGM65 hotel on station 7. And I'll switch back to the TGP. Soy it again. Make sure it's in point track by pressing target management switch up. Go back to the weapon page, soy it with display management switch down. Slew it onto the object, press target management switch up. When you have the shaking reticles, press BSGT. And that is it. Now we have station number 7 with the hotel variant Boresighted to our TGP. Target management switch down to undesignate, and you can switch again from manual to auto, which again will tell your Maverick to lock when you designate with the TGP. You can also soy the TGP again and press target management switch down twice to go back to your currently selected steer point. Move the master arm back to the off position. Get out of air to ground mode. And we're good to go for our takeoff and into our mission. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this helpful, which I wish I had a video like that when I learned Mavericks, then make sure to like, subscribe and ring that bell. Very soon after this video is up, I will also have my Maverick video uploaded, which will explain everything you need about using the Mavericks against your targets. I hope this will help some of you finally figure out Mavericks on the F-16. Just don't forget to land safely.